Hi, I'm coming to you from our guest bedroom today because I'm going to be hanging up a vinyl wall saying up onto the wall, and so let's go ahead and get started. For this project I am using a 12 by 24 inch mat, so it's quite long compared to your normal 12-inch mat. So this comes in a 6-foot roll, but I obviously cut this previously. And you put this on your mat just like you would a 12 by 12 inch mat. I'm going to quickly run through how I did this in ScanNCut Canvas. I started off by doing a trace of the word friendship that I had created. And then I changed my mat to be the 12 by 24 inch. And then I rotated it so it would be the long way, the 24 inches. And resized it so it would be the same length as the mat. Next, I added that heart border beneath the word friendship, and I rotated it so it would be going the right direction. And it's not long enough, so I duplicated it, and I'm going to weld these two pieces of border together. Now I noticed my hearts were a little too long, so I'm adding another rectangle shape over it and enlarging it so it covers up most of that. I'm going to select both those shapes and then right click and click on remove overlap, and that way I'll just get rid of all that extra little bit, and then I can delete that rectangle shape and add in my rectangles and squares that I need. And then I'm just going to throw that heart border back onto my mat, and when I get over to my ScanNCut I can move it where I need it. And lastly, I'll use that ScanNCut transfer feature to transfer it over to my ScanNCut. Okay, so on my screen I'm going to hit patterns and then hit the ScanNCut transfer button, and that's going to retrieve my file onto my screen. Go into our little wrench tool that has all of our settings. I'm going to change the cutting area. Instead of the 12 by 12 mat, I'll be using the 12 by 24 mat. So you can see it changed it right there. Click OK, OK. And now I need to take that little heart border that I had originally created. I'm going to cut that out of a different color vinyl. So I'm just going to delete it. So I can hit on delete and OK. And now I can just double check that everything is on there exactly how I want it before I cut it out. So I can click OK, OK, cut. And now it tells us it'll take about 5 minutes for this to cut out. And I'm going to change my blade depth to make sure it won't cut through my mat. Oops. So just like your regular mat, you're just going to feed it in the same way. And then hit start when you're ready to cut. Okay, all finished. So I'm just going to cut this excess off. Okay, so now you just need to weed it off just like you would normally. So as you weed it off, you just want to make sure that you don't let the sticky part stick to the part that you want to keep, and then make sure you get out the centers of those letters as well. Okay, so we got all that weeding done, and now I'm ready to stick this onto the wall. So I'm going to be using my ScanNCut transfer paper, and this is great because it has a grid, so it's easy to line things up. And I'll just take this off of the mat so I can put the transfer paper over it. And when I put it on, I just want to line up the top of my transfer paper with the top of that backing sheet that's on the vinyl. Then I'm going to use my finger to just burnish the transfer paper onto the vinyl. And when I'm ready, I'll place that on my wall. I'm using a little bit of washi tape to hold that up there just to keep it in place. And then I'm going to use a level to make sure it's straight. I'm going to put little marks all the way from my transfer paper onto the walls, and I'll do that on each of the 4 sides of the paper. Next, I'll remove the backing and then line up those little hash marks that are on my transfer paper and on the wall and make sure they all line up perfectly. And then before I smooth it onto my wall, I'm going to double check it with my level. And once it's all good, I can just again burnish it on there and then remove the transfer paper. I then repeated that process for the heart border. Next, I applied the rectangle and square borders to the wall just like I would a sticker. Next, I placed adhesive on the back of my clips and placed it on the wall. If you're worried about it damaging your wall, you can use a removable adhesive strip. And now that it's finished, you can hang up your favorite photos. For more information about ScanNCut, go to ScanNCut.com, and for more ideas and inspiration, visit ErinBassett.com.